Any thoughts on the A.J. Brown book thing? We danced around it because there were so many layers to it. And here's what A.J. Brown actually said about reading the book on the sideline.
Excellence, the book. Why do you read it during the games, and what does it bring to you?
Man, it gives me a sense of peace. That's a book that I bring every single game. My teammates call it a recipe. That's the first time I heard that y'all got me on camera. But that's not the first game. It got a lot of points in there. It's a lot of mental game, a lot of mental parts about it. And, but for me, this game is mental.
So it's called Inner Excellence. Sam said it's by Joe Murphy. So if I'm wrong, blame Sam. But it is called Inner Excellence. Featured on LeVar Burton's Reading Rainbow.
I believe so, yeah.
But that part we're making up.
Rainbow.
But it's highlighted pages of things that improve his mental skills, right? So it's like a self-help book of sorts. And I think that's what matters. Because, TikTok could get your Jim Murphy?
Jim Murphy. My mistake.
TikTok for the next 6 days could be something that clears your mind in some sort of ways. I wouldn't say that's productive for his game. Some people, they're looking at plays, right? Because they need to refocus. If this is what helps him refocus and it's a mental health book, I find no issue or problem with that. And I'm sure the team is aware that this is something that settles him and gets him on the right track and clears his mind.
Wait, though,
I think it matters what it is.
If you were one of the coaches, though, wouldn't you want him to be looking at one of the tablets?
But if this is what clears his mind, I want everyone to feel 100% confident and at their best in that moment. It's not like he was reading Petunia Puddle Duck, right? It's not a stupid kid's book. He was reading something that helps his brain.
Wait, what is he reading? There's a monster at the end of this book?
Yeah.
With Grover?
He's not reading The Puppy Who Lost His Way.
With Miss Lippy.
He's not playing on social media. He's not doing words with friends. He's not doing a crossword puzzle. Again, this is a highlighted book to enhance his mental skills. So maybe that it clears his mind so that he could focus on the field. I don't know his train track of thought, but I'm saying the content matters in this case.
My first thought was, honestly, with Covino. My first instinct when I saw him, I'm like, that's A.J. Brown. I'm talking about a guy who's a top 10 elite wide receiver in the NFL. He doesn't need Joe Schmoes being like, what are you reading? Why are you reading? He's A.J. Brown. But if you dig a little deeper and you really think about how the last couple years, guy caught 100-plus catches, 1,500-ish yards. This year, 67 catches, 1,000 yards, missed a couple games.
Hasn't been targeted the way he'd like.
He was a little outspoken
about
earlier in the season. There was a rub about that. Yep.
It almost seemed like I'm not very much part of the game plan. 1 catch, 10 yards, right? When you at that point, when you catch one ball for 10 yards at that point of the game and you're reading a book on the sideline, I just think optically it paints a different picture. You know what it's like?
It does look bad.
When your wife says that she's not mad at you, but you know she's mad at you, or clearly you've upset someone, but they're like, no, I'm cool. And you're like, they're not cool. Like, is he just playing us for the fool? Like, the dude's reading a book on the sideline. It's an NFL playoff game, man. I get it. He's getting focused, but like Covino said, what if what focused him was scrolling through asses on TikTok?
Oh.
Is he gonna be like, yeah, baby?
That's what I'm saying. I think the content
No
matters. Content matters.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, because
it's a mental health book, and I think he's trying to bring his best, or like Rich said, he's trolling us, and he's just really saying, I'm bored out here, and I couldn't care less.
I've heard NFL players say in regards to this, retired guys that there are guys that have unorthodox ways of prepping for a game or getting in the right mindset,
meditating, saying prayers, listening to music.
You see guys like Nick Bosa like slamming their helmet. Like remember Jim Harbaugh will go up to his quarterback and slam their shoulder pads. Like there's different ways to get guys in a zone.
Yeah, think about this. Hold on, I'm sorry to interrupt, Rich. I think this goes with what you're saying though. We've seen for years people with their Beats headphones on this is before the game. I get it, but that's what gets them into that mental space. I'm thinking what he's saying is true, and that's what is helping him get into that mental space.
A guy that's elite like A.J. Brown, you could argue, well, to get to that level, physically, mentally, this guy needs to be elite. And if reading these passages and stuff gets him focused, that's one thing. But I think
it's like Rich, every day before the show, he always reads this passage he has on his phone. It says, I'm good enough, I'm strong enough, and doggone it, people like me.
I have a question. Was the book stashed at the bench, or did he carry it out of the tunnel with him?
That's a great question. I think it was, Spot may have been.
Because they don't have like a bag or anything.
Correct. This happened during my show yesterday. This was going on.
Really?
And it's the question as well of like, are you running out of the tunnel with a backpack? Are you...
Is it tucked in like his pants?
But it was. He was sitting on the sidelines, and I would love Covino to watch this video.
Yeah, I know it looks bad.
It looks so bad. You want to know why as well? There's a couple of reasons. He doesn't go to a bookmarked page. He just opens it. So you're just going to randomly open a page to get your motivation?
Maybe he had a little like it earmarked, like you fold down one of the corners
He
of the page.
grabs it.
So he knows
There
where to go.
appears to be a bookmark, and he just opens the middle of the book and is just sitting there.
Yeah,
It's not.
To your point, DB, in that clip we heard, he doesn't say anything specific about what he like. There's mental parts to it. Yeah, it's a self-improvement book. Of course there's mental parts to it.
Guys, this pissed me off so much. Sorry.
I mean, there have been
I shouldn't have said that word. But
there have been times during your show I see Kerry Rhodes grabs a book, right? He just starts.
Kerry probably falls asleep when I'm talking, rambling on like I am now.
No. Here's what I'm trying to say, though, Dan, and this is for real. I see what you see, and we're looking at it as we speak.
It is
right?
very arbitrary.
I see what you see, and everybody could see that, right? It looks bad. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt of this is what gets him inspired in some sort of way.
And his playful response also, guys, come on, I'm just reading a book.
Here's my other point of this. How do you guys read books? Now
they don't.
Audiobooks.
With my eyes shut.
Tablets.
Dr. Seuss.
Tablets.
Yeah.
If he had this book on a tablet, we would think he's looking at plays, which we would be like, okay, he's studying. The visual of a book is like, I've checked out.
Yeah,
you could get checked out a book.
Right?
It's like vacation. Like
correct.
You're laying by the
next
pool.
to a pool. Exactly.
Is he making a statement or is he for real? That's really the question.
It's a statement that I'm so bored. I'm not involved in the game plan. I'm going to read a book. Let me tell you,
100%.
I try not to be spiteful. I try
is.
not to be spiteful, but there are times where
You're so good at
I've kindly asked my wife and kids, like, listen, can you straighten up some of the kids' toys, honey? When I come home from work, the number one thing that annoys me is when my kids' stuff is everywhere.
Also, make me a sandwich.
Stop it. But sometimes I will and I'm ashamed to admit this. Sometimes I trip over a toy and be like, God, goddamn toy, on purpose, just to sort of, in a way, show there's damn toys everywhere. Dad almost tripped. AJ Brown is doing the dad almost trip because your toys are everywhere. I'm so bored. One catch? I'm a guy that catches 1,500 yards a year, not a one touch for 10-yard guy. I'm so bored. Someone give me I'm going to read the comics.
Or
he's crocheting.
Hold on. This is a mental health book, right? Mental skills, a book to help. I'm just playing, and again, I'm not naive. I'm playing devil's advocate. Maybe the fact that he's not getting the ball the way he wanted to puts him in a mental space where he wants to punch someone in the face.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows that reading these words calms him down, right?
Look at his.
Right?
Yeah.
He also
I'm playing devil's advocate.
Yes.
If you watch the video, like Dan said, he also purses his lips in a way like he's like, mm-hmm. He's like, yeah, whatever.
He does. I know. I see
It's
it.
like, all right, I'm pulling out the book.
If you're his wide receivers coach or you're his offensive coordinator, or if you're Nick Sirianni as head coach, you would say, you know what, AJ needs this on the sidelines. Let's download a book. Let's put it on a tablet. And if he needs to go, he can go to it. And we wouldn't have known. We honestly would have thought he'd be looking at plays if he was reading that tablet. But no, this is an actual physical book that he brought out.
Some people don't like tablet reading.
The only reason
my
why
wife
this,
hates it. She prefers a physical book.
The only reason why this wasn't a bigger deal was because the Eagles won in a clear victory.
Yes.
If the Eagles are down in the third quarter and A.J. Brown's reading the book,
all right, I have another question.
Story's different.
I have another question. Remember I said content matters?
Yeah.
The name of this book is Inner Excellence, okay? And again, I'm playing devil's advocate based on what he said and what the story is. It's a highlight. He said a highlighted page to improve mental skills. If it was to make a statement, then why not make an actual statement with some, snarky title, an actual book that may say something backhanded. about being, wasting your time or being bored.
The subtle art of not giving an F.
Yeah, exactly. If you're gonna make a statement, then and why not pull out some stupid kids book or something like that? That way it would really make the point. This says to me that he has a book that was helping his mental health.
Rich may remember this.
Yeah.
NFC Championship game 2 years ago, 49ers-Eagles. First play from scrimmage for the Philadelphia Eagles was a pass to A.J. Brown. And that was because A.J. Brown was sulking in their win the week prior against the New York Giants, where he had 3 catches in that playoff victory over the Giants. So in the NFC Championship game, they had to make sure that A.J. Brown was involved right away so he wouldn't sulk and it wouldn't be the issue that he had developed all week long. This is not new with A.J. Brown. This is not a one-off situation. So I appreciate Covino being devil's advocate, but Rich is 100% correct on this.
I think there's like you said.
I do hate that type of attitude, though.
It's so awesomely strategic because he has the answer for everything. Like, it's a self-help book. What? Because then it's mental health and I'm in the right spot. But
you never want to question anybody on mental health either.
No, you
Right?
can't.
If I said right now, if I took my headphones off and I'm like, you know what? I had enough of Rich's face. And the bosses walked out, and the bosses had an issue with it. I'm like, well, I need a mental health thing.
Yeah, COVID almost
What
feels,
are they going to say?
Almost feels like a double diss in a way. Like, I'm going to, what I'm mad about, but you can't really question it because then you're questioning what you're not allowed to anymore in our country.
Exactly. You can't. All right, see? Hey, look, I'm just trying to explore it. That's all. Your thoughts at 877-99 on Fox. It's weird. No one can deny that. It's a weird look.
In the 1999 film Varsity Blues, if you recall, James Vanderbeek's character used to sit on the bench and read a book because he was getting passed over by Paul Walker, who was playing out there, and he was just the backup quarterback waiting to play.
So, Spot, what you're saying is a book on the sidelines is a visual of apathy and frustration?
Yes. Just saying.
Imagine if Sam was reading a book right now during your show.
Hey,
How
dude.
offended would you be?
Let's just say there's some guy that works on our show once in a while, and he's on his iPad the whole time, and it aggravates the hell out of me.
Planning another show while you were doing this show.
Right. We've seen it, and it does rub us the wrong way, for sure. So, look, optically, I get it. But exploring the story here about A.J. Brown, things that made us go, this past weekend. Some great games. A nice win from the Eagles either way.